Good morning. Here's your U.S. news briefing for Monday, August 10th. Former Thai MP allegedly kills official and confesses on YouTube. Chalong Rairang called a YouTube livestream to say he had shot a government official. $200,000 worth of supplies donated to PB schools. Burnham brings forward ban on subscription traps by 3 months. The Prime Minister is embarking on a UK tour with a series of announcements aimed at easing living costs. Embattled hedge fund Situational Awareness invests $400 million in chip startup Source Foundry. The AI-focused hedge fund is still making some big bets. Lynx's McBride drops 43, sets WNBA three-point mark. Minnesota Lynx guard Kayla McBride set the WNBA single-game record by making 10 three-pointers Sunday in a 103-90 victory over the Dallas Wings. A female sniper battles ISIS in first teaser for Venice title No Paradise If You Are Killed by a Woman, exclusive. The fight against the Islamic State has been given the Hollywood-style revenge thriller treatment in Haqqat Mustafa and #8217, SN #8220, No Paradise If You Were Killed by a Woman, and #8221, as revealed by the film and #8217, as first teaser trailer. Iamisigo Copenhagen Spring 2027. Suspected crime boss Kinahan spends first night in custody in Ireland. The Irish prison service bought a bulletproof and bomb-proof van to transport the 49-year-old to court after his extradition from Dubai. Family throws surprise birthday party at Eagles tailgate for Vietnam vet. Thames Water gave finance boss a £1 million signing-on fee. The 7-figure payment was given to Steve Buck as part of package to persuade him to join the troubled utility company. No Dogs in Space is a music history podcast for true obsessives. Sadly, there hasn't been a new episode of No Dogs in Space since July of 2024. Part 4 of the podcast series on Can wrapped up an abbreviated Season 3, which focused on experimental rock. Bridgewater retires again, Lions pivot to Dobbs. Quarterback Teddy Bridgewater is stepping away from the Detroit Lions and is retiring from the NFL, Coach Dan Campbell said Sunday. Netflix sets Ad Vitam sequel with Guillaume Canet. Netflix has started production on a sequel to an #8220, Ad Vitam, and #8221, its 2025 French action thriller starring Guillaume Canet. The sequel has the working title and #8220, Ad Vitam Aeternum, and #8221, which is Latin for and #8220, to eternal life, and #8221. Canet is returning as Frank Lazareff, a former operator for the GIGN, the elite tactical unit of the French National Gendarmerie. Pisces Daily Horoscope. February 19th to March 20th. Ukrainian drone attack on the Russian city of Nizhnekamsk kills 12, authorities say. Ukraine has targeted Russian oil facilities with long-range drones almost daily in recent months. The barrage has caused fuel shortages in Russia and unsettled the Russian public. An art school where Epstein allegedly preyed on students reveals decades of abuse. In a new report, former Interlochen students detail some 70 allegations of sexual abuse by nearly 50 adults employed or affiliated with the school. One of the former students tells his story to NPR. Tech leaders say AI means less work, their staff say they work up to 90 hours a week. Tech companies are not modeling their own claims of the technology giving people more free time. Anthropic is turning Claude Code's auto mode on by default. Programming with Claude Code will soon require even less human oversight. Mourinho had deal to succeed Sir Alex at United. Jose Mourinho was set to replace Sir Alex Ferguson as Manchester United boss in 2013 before changing his mind and rejoining Chelsea, a new Netflix docuseries on the Portuguese manager revealed. Latin Quarter Distribution acquires world rights to José del Aqua Uruguayan crime thriller Maltrato Animal, exclusive. Latin Quarter Distribution has acquired world sales rights to José del and #8217, Aqua and #8217, as Uruguayan crime thriller and #8220, Maltrato Animal and #8221, and #8220, Animal Budget and #8221 Winky Face. The deal was closed after a screening of an #8220, Maltrato Animal and #8221, at Locarno and #8217, as First Look, a Pix in-post competition focused on rough-cut screenings of emerging and established talent from a territory around the world, this year Uruguay. Morgan Cesalori is introducing a more mature Cezanne. The founder and CEO defines the first era of her Parisian brand with a sense of childlike wonder. Now, she's ready to grow up. At least 13 killed in Ukrainian drone strike on Russia's Tatarstan region, officials say. It is one of the deadliest Ukrainian drone attacks on Russia since the start of Moscow's war on Ukraine. The FAA wants to reboot the nation's airspace. This airline shows how it might work. When Alaska Airlines wanted to optimize its operations, it turned to a small startup called Airspace Intelligence. Now the FAA has hired the company for a major reboot of the entire U.S. airspace. Could your tattoo stop you from getting a job? A quarter of the UK population, including the new Prime Minister, have at least one tattoo, but they still divide opinion in the workplace. Zuckerberg and #8217, S-Yacht was closer, but someone else saved a stranded boat. Earlier this week, the Alaskan cruise ship Wilderness Legacy rescued a small skiff stranded near Farragut Bay after running out of fuel. But, according to tracking data reviewed by the Alaska Beacon and Halifax Shipping News, the closest vessel was actually Mark Zuckerberg's superyacht, Launchpad. Mexico beats U.S. in U20 final after suspect red. Mexico won its second CONCACAF U20 championship in a row after beating the United States 2-0 at Estadio Azteca in the final on Sunday in Mexico City. Alessandra Sanguinetti on her dreamy, grounded directorial debut The Illusion of an Everlasting Summer. In the Argentine Pampas, cousins Guillermina and Belinda cannot wait to grow up. When they are not swimming in the river and dancing through the long, breezy afternoons, they reenact funeral ceremonies and feign surgery on dead animals. The meaning of consent in the age of content. Public patience for being an extra in creator content is wearing thin. As the consumer backlash over privacy and surveillance grows, brands are rewriting the rules around influencer marketing and content creation. China evacuates 1 million from homes as massive storm arrives. Typhoon Dolphin has made landfall, bringing strong winds and heavy rain across eastern China including Shanghai. Minneapolis volunteer group connects singles passionate about environmentalism. A volunteer group in Minneapolis is trading dating apps for garden tools and invasive plants, as singles passionate about environmentalism work together to restore a park while making new connections. You could be missing out on 150 pounds off your energy bill. Here's how to check. Some people need to ensure they are named on their energy bill before the deadline to qualify for help. TechCrunch Mobility, Zoox prepares for launch in Uber's AV empire. Welcome back to TechCrunch Mobility, your hub for the future of transportation, and now, more than ever, the role AI is playing in it. Koivu, with just 6 starts, books final playoff spot. Jackson Koivu, who left Auburn in June and won the 3-meter open in only his 3rd start, narrowly hung on to the 70th spot and goes from college to the postseason in only 2 months. Marco Perrigo, in the presence of wife Zoe Saldana, tells Locarno Pro, "Don't produce indie film for the money. But trust the vision of the director and stay out of their creative way," said the man, who had 3 Cannes competition titles this year and who described himself as a disruptor. A guide to every dragon in House of the Dragon, so far. The Dance of the Dragons is raging. Here's the Team Black vs Team Green Dragon roster as it currently stands. Residents warned to brace for the worst as Canada wildfire rages out of control. 1 person has died in the Bald Range wildfire in British Columbia, which has spread over 53 sq miles. The view from the proving grounds for next-generation nuclear reactors, Atomic City, Idaho. A new generation of small nuclear reactors is poised to come online in the next few years. Public opinion remains split. Raw images, no filters, why MySpace fans want it back as relaunch hinted. Fans and creators say a revived MySpace must feel personal, not algorithm-driven. 49ers coach says his Tesla was on autopilot when he crashed. 4 weeks ago, San Francisco 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan was involved in an accident near downtown Palo Alto. At the time, Shanahan said only that the accident was his fault. Simmons set for Australia national team minicamp. Free agent forward Ben Simmons is expected to be a full participant with 0 restrictions at a player-led private minicamp for the Australian men's basketball team in Melbourne, a source told ESPN Inscape. Brave new love review, infidelity isn't the end in an unusual, open-minded marital drama. And hashtag 8220, I would never fall in love if I was in a good relationship, and hashtag 8221, so says one participant in the women and hashtag 8217's church group where Copenhagen-based wife and mother Kate, Catherine Thorborg Johansson, confesses that she and hashtag 8217 has been having a 3-year affair with another man, and doesn't and hashtag 8217, much regret it. A brief guide to the Targaryens, Valerians, and Hightowers in House of the Dragon. This is one very confusing family tree. Evidence that South African Special Forces murdered top detective shared with BBC. Franz Mathipa was shot while driving. We got access to the prosecution case against 8 accused men. Captor moving to physical rehab after what police say was a hit-and-run crash. Representative Marcy Captor, Democrat Ohio, on Sunday said she will undergo physical rehabilitation after she was injured in what Toledo, Ohio, first responders said was a hit-and-run crash. Captor shared a video on the social platform X thanking you so very, very much for the thousands of good wishes that are coming from our community, across. That's your briefing for today. Have a great day.